So Skillhouse,
Yeah.
you shared a bit about it. From an intro, whatever sort of themes or practicals or story you want to share to introduce Skillhouse. Share.
Man, Skillhouse is a bunch. We are seasoned creatives. But like, how do I make us sound serious? But we're friends. We're friends who love creativity. We love to create, and we are getting to do this together. So what happened is we all worked at the same church, and I felt the Lord saying like it was time for me to leave. So I'm like, okay, I don't know where I'm going. It's time for me to leave. So I quit. In the best way, it was a good transition.
Yeah.
I didn't chunk up the deuce and say I'm out, but it's a beautiful transition. So I leave, and then they, a few months later, felt like they were supposed to transition. I'm like, okay, interesting. So one day I was just praying, and I just felt this like, why don't you guys start a creative agency together? So I texted them, yo, why don't we start a creative agency together? Like,
What'd you call it? Not ugly duck. What was it?
we didn't have a name yet.
No, you said like, hey,
Oh, it was ugly baby.
Ugly baby.
Hey,
Yeah.
ugly baby. And I don't think babies are ugly. Baby.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I'm just, some babies are, I'm sorry. Oops. Like putting my foot in my mouth.
Josue, what kind of baby do you think you were?
Oh, I was handsome as a baby. It was madness.
I
Yeah,
don't think I've ever heard of a baby being called handsome.
I was the first. Really. What can I say? You know?
Said I came out like a kid.
Yeah, it was crazy. But
So it was an ugly baby. And so I texted them, and they got back to me the next day, and they're like, let's do it. And so we get in the room, we're like, all right, what's the name gonna be? Our names were horrible. Like, I really wish we could find the paper with the names because they were trash. Like, I'm like, bro. And everyone we were looking up, it was already taken anyway. And then just so happened, Chris, he like, so I work with two people, Chris and Jeannie.
Shout out.
Those the homies. Chris, Jeannie, what's up? I'm these gang noises and signs. Today, I think I thought I was a gangster. So we're sitting in a room, we're praying, like trying to figure out, okay, all of our ideas are horrible. God, would you like speak? And then Chris does this epiphany moment. He's like, Skillhouse. We're like, okay. And he was like Exodus 35, which was crazy because I had been studying Exodus 35 and Jeannie had been reading it as well. And so we start to go Exodus 35:10, where the skilled craftsman created all God commanded. And it's more so when they're building the tabernacle, but it was like, oh, like he filled them with his spirit to be able to create what he commanded. Cool. And then you break it down more, and the skilled in that verse actually means wise-hearted. And it was like, oh, it is wise-hearted to obey the Lord. Like, it's smart. And actually, if you're wise-hearted, he will actually, like, help you. Yeah. And so it felt like this duh. And so for us, we're like, okay, Skillhouse is the name. And we've kind of had this undercurrent of wise-hearted, where we say, okay, we read Proverbs every day, like whatever. Like today I read Proverbs 22, whatever the Proverbs is. Not as the only thing I read. So before you get comments like, y'all done got this girl here, she only read Proverbs. She don't even read the Bible. She didn't read Proverbs. I do read the Bible, but I'm just saying I read Proverbs with Proverbs is in the Bible. Yeah. Anyway, okay.
We trust you. We got you.
Okay, thank you so much. And so we started doing wise-hearted. It's like an undercurrent, just saying like, hey, we want to be wise. And one of the things this is a tangent. This is wow.
You got it.
But one of the things I'm learning about wisdom is it really is just applied knowledge. Like, it's not that difficult. Because I think when we started, it was like wisdom. You know, like we're praying for wisdom. Like, it's like this heavy, weighty, like wisdom. And it's like, one of my mentors, he just was looking at me and he's like, Bosa, we are in the social media age. There's knowledge everywhere. Who are the people rising to the top? Oh, they're the ones who are applying what they're learning. It's like, just apply what you're learning. Apply what the Bible says. and apply what God is saying. That's wisdom. So it's like, you're like, wisdom, I need like the voice of heaven, this thunder, and it's like, wisdom is just do what God is saying. And like, we were talking about this earlier. His word, he speaks through his word too. Like, and you should probably know his word. Like for me, it's been a conviction this year of like, I need to know my word way more, way better. That's why I said, don't try and play me. I do read my Bible. I am reading more than Proverbs. Don't try and come for me. So that's kind of, I got on a tangent. I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't. I couldn't find my way back.
Skillhouse. Yeah, I saw you struggling.
Yeah.
You was fighting for your life right there.